News about Jonesy's departure will blow your mind. And to not get lost in this world of chaos, you want the best guide through the world full of danger, Punked Side. So, grab some popcorn, get comfy, and let's get to it. We all know Doom is a... This stained glass window might be hinting at a huge event where Doom tries to harness the 0 Point's power, and the 7 come back to stop him. For those of you who might be new for everything, could their return be just around the corner? Maybe by the end of this season, we'll see them in action again. Now, switching gears to something a bit darker, Jonesy's possible departure. Yeah, you heard me right. This theory has been making waves for a while now, and with the latest updates, it's looking more and more likely. I know what you're thinking. Jonesy can't die, he's immortal, right? True, Jonesy did gain immortality when he joined the Imagined Order, but that doesn't mean he's invincible. Let me explain why this might be the season we say goodbye to one of Fortnite's most iconic characters. In my last video, I mentioned how Jonesy seems to be preparing Hope to take over his role. There are all these moments where he's passing on his knowledge to her, almost like he's getting ready for a big sacrifice. We've seen this kind of storyline before. Little hints always lead to something bigger. A broken shield could symbolize Jonesy's vulnerability, maybe even signaling his defeat in an upcoming showdown. Could this be a sign that Doom's camp is gearing up to take down Jonesy once and for all? Everything is starting to connect. Jonesy is preparing Hope to take over, his shield is shattered in the game files, and Doom's army is getting stronger by the day. It feels like the story is setting us up for Jonesy's ultimate defeat. And yes, Jonesy is technically immortal, but like I said before, that doesn't mean he can't choose to sacrifice. This kind of sacrifice, we might not see him for a long time, if ever again. Now, let's talk about Hope, because she's quickly becoming a central figure in Fortnite's story. In the past, it's always been Jonesy who's stepped up to face Fortnite's biggest challenges. This season, it feels like Jonesy is passing the torch to Hope. There's this sense that she's preparing to take over as the new main character in Fortnite. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the leaked loading screen where Hope is facing off against Doom with Captain America's shield. Typically, it would be Jonesy holding that shield, right? So why is Hope the one wielding it? It's a major clue that Jonesy might not be around much longer. And here's the thing. There's an alternate version of that leaked loading screen where Captain America's shield is broken. In that version, it looks like Jonesy faced Doom and lost. The shield is shattered, and now it's up to Hope to finish what he started. This has led to a massive rumor that Jonesy could actually die in the Fortnite storyline. Think about that for a second. Jonesy, the guy who's been with us from the very beginning, might actually be gone by the end of this season. For a lot of players, that's a huge deal. It would feel like the end of an era. Now, I've been keeping an eye on all the in-game dialogue, and there's something that really stands out. If you talk to Jonesy about Doom, he says something like, "I'm not really a fan of that guy for obvious reasons. He's not going to win, I'm sure of it. But you always go into a fight thinking it could be your last. I'm not worried. I believe in us." That line makes it sound like he's confident in the people around him. Maybe...
Hey, so big guy, after this I think it's time I get my own 70 name. No. Now just stay with me here. Like what about the Infiltrator or ooh, the Hunter? Ooh, the Legend.
Could this be foreshadowing? Is Jonesy about to become a legend by sacrificing himself? I'm getting major end of season vibes here, and I think this could be it for Jonesy. Alright, so what can we expect by the end of this season? Two major hints stand out. First, that glider, which looks like a massive floating fist. Some players think this could mean we'll face a giant robotic Doom at the end of the season. But here's the thing, so far, we haven't seen a lot of clues about a big event, but Sheena, a trusted Fortnite leaker, has hinted that the next few weeks are going to be wild. So, if all these clues come together, we might see the most epic battle in Fortnite history. And Jonesy? He could be the one to make the ultimate sacrifice, leading us into Chapter 6 and paving the way for Hope to take over as the new hero. We already know that Dr. Doom is huge in the current Fortnite storyline, but there's also a rumor that Mephisto, Marvel's devilish villain, will be making his way to the island soon. With Mephisto being a master of the underworld and all things supernatural, it goes without saying that he might unleash dark forces. However, the most exciting part of a theory is that Mephisto could resurrect the dead, including Marvel's fallen heroes, turning them into zombies. Imagine this. Defeated at the hands of Dr. Doom, Mephisto, in desperation, conjures zombies, resurrecting even defeated people. Marvel Zombies is without a doubt one of the scariest and most intriguing alternate universes in the Marvel Universe. The world is different in that some iconic heroes such as Iron Man, Captain America, and Spider-Man fall victim to a zombie virus that makes them become grotesque undead versions of themselves. These Marvel zombies retain their intelligence, but their bodies are decaying and driven by an unquenchable hunger for human flesh. Just imagine your horror when these are your favorite Marvel heroes, who are rising from their graves on the Fortnite island, only this time coming for you as zombies. Coincidentally, the stitched-together Marvel Zombies arc crossed over into the greater Marvel multiverse during the Secret Wars, where several Marvel realities collided. In this epic crossover, numerous parallel worlds merged into one planet, Battleworld, designed by Dr. Doom, who then became a godlike ruler over this new domain. Yet one notable region within Battleworld was the Deadlands, a no-man's land filled with Marvel zombies. Anyone who dared to enter would definitely meet their doom at the hands of zombie versions of Wolverine, Hulk, and even Giant Man. The defeated heroes found in Doom's castle could easily become big characters in a Marvel Zombies storyline. And given that Mephisto has the power to resurrect the dead, it isn't hard to imagine him bringing those forth, but Fortnite is already teasing what's in store for players. Of course, Mephisto isn't the only major character appearing this Halloween season, as there are also teasers about on Ghost Redoer Burger. Not to mention, in the newest loading screen, if you look closely enough, you can see Mephisto lurking in the background. If Jonesy does die and we end up facing off against Doom in a huge event, it could set the stage for Chapter 6 in a massive way. Fortnite has always used major events to transition between chapters, and this could be the biggest one yet. If Jonesy sacrifices himself, it could change the game's storyline forever. Whether or not Jonesy actually dies, the fact that he's prepping Hop to take over is a huge deal. Fortnite's story seems to be shifting into a new direction, with new characters stepping up to take on the roles that Jonesy and the Seven once held. As a longtime fan of the game, it's hard not to feel like things won't be the same without Jonesy. Now, let's get into something that could be huge, the potential Chapter 6 event. We all know Fortnite loves to end each chapter with a massive, game-changing event. For Chapter 5, we saw the return of the end event from Chapter 1, but with a twist. After the 0 Point exploded, we got sent through several islands, including Lego Island, Rocket Racing Island, and Fortnite Festival Island, where we even had a mini-concert from Eminem. Now it looks like something similar could be happening for Chapter 6. A fan recently speculated that Snoop Dogg might be involved in the next big event. According to leaks, Snoop Dogg is set to join Fortnite during Chapter 2 Season 12, and there are hints that he could play a big role in the Chapter 6 launch. The theory suggests that instead of teleporting to office, players might get sent to a Snoop Dogg concert instead. As much as I love Snoop, I gotta admit, I'm getting a little tired of these in-game concerts. Don't get me wrong, the Travis Scott event was amazing, but the Eminem concert during the Chapter 5 transition didn't quite hit the same. I'm hoping that if Snoop Dogg is involved, they'll really go all out and make it special. Otherwise, I'd much rather see a more story-driven event with the return of characters like Midas or Gino. Speaking of Chapter 6, we're getting closer to its release, and the leaks are starting to roll in. December 1st is the official start of Chapter 6, and there are tons of exciting features rumored to be on the way. One of the biggest gameplay changes is the introduction of prone movement. Just like in Call of Duty, players will be able to lie down, which adds a whole new layer of strategy to the game. Sky, and this ties in with the return of the Clombos. It's possible these floating islands are where the Clombos come from, and they could play a major role in the new season. There's also a theory that Chapter 6 could introduce multiple Battle Royale maps, letting players choose between different maps from past chapters. This would be a huge shift for Fortnite, giving players the chance to revisit iconic locations from earlier in the game's history. Imagine choosing between the Chapter 1 map, the Chapter 2 map, and so on. That would add so much variety to the game. Finally, there's speculation that Avatar, the movie, not the anime, could be coming to Fortnite. The floating islands in the Chapter 6 concept art remind a lot of fans of Pandora, the floating world from Avatar. There have been rumors for a while that Fortnite is working on a collaboration with Avatar, and it would make total sense. Pandora is known for its floating islands and exotic creatures, which would fit perfectly into the Fortnite universe. If this collaboration happens, we could see avatar-themed skins, locations, and even game modes. It's an exciting possibility, and would definitely be one of Fortnite's biggest to use War Machine's jetpack, which allows players to shoot and fly at the same time in flight. I didn't like the Stark's rifle too much. It's pretty similar to the one from Stark Industries in Season 14, but it feels clunky. Something about the way it is projected feels off, and the recoil is a tad too much. I might be in the minority, but I would advise against using it during a far-ranged fight. If you have tried it out, let me know your experience and opinions in the comments below. Epic's also made a few balance changes, finally buffing Mysterio's medallion. It provides a slight niche now in that you could move faster while invisible, but it is somewhat up for debate how useful that really is. Yes, you do move faster, but I feel that normal movement is still the most effective since it doesn't give you away on the map. Anyway, I think Mysterio's medallion will still be discarded most of the time. But all those fans of Doctor Doom out there, and I can't wait to see what they've got in store next. Whether it's map changes, storylines, or events, there's always something exciting happening in the world of Fortnite.